So we're talking about Ari Aster twice in just a couple of days. This should be a lot of fun. And my Beau is Afraid video kind of made me feel like an idiot because seeing other people's opinions on Beau is Afraid and how deep they're getting into like the narrative and um, all of the themes and possibly Ari Aster's messed up mind. I was tired when I made that video. I do apologize. Maybe I can go back and make another Beau is Afraid video. I liked the movie. I did, and I would like to talk about it, have a discussion with people, but I'm going to make up for it because there's another film that I want to talk about. And I've been wanting to talk about this for a little bit because I had a chance to watch the director's cut for Midsommar for the first time. And I saw Midsommar when it first came out in theaters. So here we go. We have Midsommar. This is the theatrical cut. This is the one that you can get for like, I think $5 on Amazon. It's actually really cheap. This one runs at 147 minutes. And then there's the Midsommar's director's cut, which is, I think it's 2 hours and 50 something minutes. I'm not exactly sure on the runtime. And this is the 4K version. Now, this is a difficult video to make because the whole point of me making this video is to tell you, is the director's cut better than the theatrical cut? And is it the cut that you should watch? I get frustrated whenever I watch a video maybe about the same thing, like is the unrated cut better than the theatrical, or is the director's cut better than the theatrical? I get so frustrated whenever I don't get a clear answer, which is why I usually opt for Reddit most of the time. I usually just go on Reddit, sort of see what everybody else's opinions are. Like actually, for instance, today, Evil Dead, I put in this, I have the steelbook and I put it in, you know, just to watch a little bit of it because it had been a while. And there was the 1:3:1 aspect ratio version and the 185:1 aspect ratio version. And I forgot about that. I was like, wait a minute. So what is the preferred version? And I went on Reddit and everybody said the 1:3:1. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. That's the original aspect ratio. And then I watched the 185:1 aspect ratio version, excuse me. And I was like, that's not bad. It doesn't look that bad. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to become the person that I did not want to be because it's a very complicated answer when it comes to, hey, is the director's cut better than the theatrical, or is the theatrical better than the director's cut? I think before we talk about the director's cut and the theatrical version, we need to talk about the director that we're discussing, and that's Ari Aster. I would say that Ari Aster is, he's an accessible director if you've seen Hereditary. And I feel like he's sort of gotten a little more, how should I put it, unconventional as his films have went on. Which is fine, because I love it. Ari Aster is one of my favorite working directors today. But Hereditary, I would say, is his most accessible film. I think the one thing that sets Ari Aster apart from other filmmakers today is the length of his films. Because if I remember hearing correctly, I think he actually had a 3-hour cut of Hereditary, and then Midsommar is almost 3 hours, and then Beau is Afraid is literally 1 minute shy of 3 hours, and it was supposed to be like 4 hours. So Ari Aster makes really long films. He makes very long films. And I actually really appreciate that a lot because being somebody who, you know, makes films, somebody that is trying to get into filmmaking in a bigger way, seeing a lot of films that play it safe, a lot of very conventional films, a lot of films that do fit within like the 80 to, 100 minute runtime. You know, that's fine. I get it. People prefer shorter films nowadays, I believe. I don't know. It's kind of weird because last year there was like Tar. And I mean, if you look at some of the Marvel films and Avatar and John Wick and yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think people like long films as long as they're good because I'm somebody, and I should make a video about this probably, but I'm somebody that believes that a film is as long as can't talk. I feel like a film is as long as it needs to be and as short as it needs to be. But Ari Aster gives me hope. He gives me hope because I love seeing a filmmaker do something so different and seeing such a strong reaction from the audience. It makes me feel good. It makes me, like I said, it gives me hope. It makes me want to try the weird and crazy things that I would like to try, you know? And I feel like Ari Aster, he can make, you know, accessible films, and I feel like he can make unaccessible films. The funny thing is, I think Midsommar is accessible and not accessible. And what I mean by that is the theatrical cut, I think, is an accessible film. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's not extremely long. You know, it cuts out a lot of the fat. And I feel like the audience, you know, if you're somebody that's not used to this type of film, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna hurt to you know, take the film out or whatever, stop it. You know, you can do whatever you want. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. But there's something about an almost 3 hour long film that I feel like a lot of people would opt out of the film before they would the shorter version. Because I get it, a longer film, you have to dedicate more time to it. You really have to be invested in it. But actually, you know what? Plot twist. We're going to do a plot twist in this video. I'm so excited. The plot twist. This is going to be the biggest plot twist since The Sixth Sense. I guarantee you. I'm going to tell you which version you should watch. And let me explain. I think you should watch the director's cut. Now, there's a reason for that. This is not me being a pretentious cinephile, you know, like, it gave me Tarkovsky vibes. You need to watch it. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. The reason why I like the director's cut is because, yes, this is going to be a slog. This is going to be hard for some people to watch. I mean, it's a 3 hour long film. But if you have to watch this in segments, where if you have to watch this like across 3 days, an hour each day, I usually don't like to do that. You know, I like to just sit through it. I feel like that's the experience. But there's so much packed in this director's cut, even if it is just lingering on a shot for like a long time, there's still like, I think the main thing, Danny and Christian, their relationship is so fleshed out in this version compared to this version. And there's something about the ending of the film, which I won't spoil, being there for such a long time with these characters and with this story. There's just something about it. They're just being there for a long time, and then whenever you do get to the ending, it makes it that much more impactful. Now, when I was watching Midsommar for the first time, when I watched it in theaters, I was with a crowd that just would not shut up. They were laughing at everything. The ending of the film, everybody was laughing. It turned it into this just big comedic mess, which that's fine, you know, if it was meant to be a comedic mess. But when I watched it again, and I watched it at home on the director's cut, it was very unsettling. I was sitting there in silence, just like, it was a lot. And also, one thing that I love about Ari Aster, and I do not care to say this because I get it. Everybody loves a good, tight film. I love Ari Aster because he is not scared to hold on a fucking shot. Pardon my French, but he is not scared to hold on a fucking shot. That's like, I love that. I like being able to get engrossed in a world. I love it. And that's why I love filmmakers like, you know, Tarkovsky or Kubrick, or you could even say like Tarantino to an extent, you know, but I mean, his films are, even though they're pretty long, they're still pretty tight, if that makes sense. I like a little bit of slack in the narrative. I do. Maybe not as much as Beau Was Afraid. Beau Was Afraid had a pretty big section that I feel like could have been trimmed down. But I love being able to just sort of kind of, you know, see something happen and then be able to actually react to it. I don't like, well, I don't want to say I don't like it, but it is sort of inconvenient when I see something insane happen and then the film just keeps going on and on and on and I don't have time to process things. Which is why I love the ending of Midsommar so much, because it's literally just a boom, 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 boom. And then at the end of the film, I kind of just get to sit there and I get to go, okay, let me process this. But there are sections of the film where something will happen, and even not watching the director's cut before, it was almost like I had room to breathe. And I like that. I do. I like that a lot. So look, if you absolutely cannot do a 3 hour long film, go with the theatrical cut. You're still going to get the story. You're still going to get the scenes. It's probably going to get the same reaction out of you. And this is definitely, I'm pretty sure, the version that most people have seen. But if you don't care about that 3-hour runtime and you want a little bit more character development, I would and if you want like just a badass edition of a film in general, get the director's cut. I really strongly recommend you check this out because look, Ari Aster, his films are not short. I mean, you have Hereditary, which is over 2 hours long. You have Midsommar, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes. I mean, honestly, what's an extra 20 minutes, 30 minutes? And then you have Beau is Afraid, which is 3 hours. I cannot really see anybody watching Midsommar without watching Hereditary or Beau is Afraid. I feel like Ari Aster is one of those directors where you either love him or you don't, and you're going to watch his films. You know, that's kind of how I am with other directors, you know? Like, I mean, I'm going to watch all their films if I like their films, and it's just, you get what I'm saying. I'm not just going to pick up Midsommar and just stop there. So I would highly, if you're wanting to get into Ari Aster's filmography, because I'm assuming if you want to watch Midsommar, that's probably why you're going to do it, I would watch the director's cut, and I would get this edition because this edition is like awesome. It's like seriously one of my favorite ones. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. If you guys want to donate to our independent film, Pesadilla, links down in the description below. Look, guys, I am so excited to film this movie. I'm all casted almost. I just got one more role to cast, which I'm actually going to do tonight. And then I'm almost location locked. We're working out insurance. I'm so excited. This is more than I've ever done before making a film. This is the highest budget I've ever worked with, which I know it's not a lot, but for me it is. I just wanted to throw that in there in this video. Every single time I think about it, I'm so excited. I've got, you know, I've hired somebody for practical effects. I've got a costume being made for the film, which is absolutely fantastic. I've gotten so many good reactions from it. And I've, you know, secured one of my favorite, well, I don't want to say anything, but you'll figure it out whenever you watch the film. I'm really excited. But anyway, tell me what you think of Midsommar's director's cut down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.